welcome to Hometown Cooking with Marianne. I'm Marianne. Today we are going to can mushrooms. Fairly easy. I have 7 pounds of mushrooms. You have to be sure, like I got these for $2.43 and they are 16 ounces or a pound. You have to watch your prices because a lot of them will have them even more and they're only 12 ounces. So what we're going to do is open these all up and we're going to slice it up. Slice them all up, put them in my big pan, my big pot. So what you want to do, they're beautiful on the bottom, they don't even have to be trimmed. Just take them, we're not going to wash them yet, we're going to put them in a pot and then wash them. Slice them like that, throw them in a pot. There you go. And I'll be back. I'm going to cut all these up, put them in a pot, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, I have 2 pots, only because I don't mind doing dishes, and I want them to be clean. And that's how filled they are, that one and that one. And I just saved 3 different sizes for you. For the real big ones, you're going to want to don't slice them too thin because they will cook down and you'll have nothing. So keep them like 1/8 to 1/4 inch, and then the little ones you do in half next to the little 3 and so on. And it is a very dirty job. Okay, I'm going to bring you over to my kitchen sink and I'll show you how I wash them up. Okay, now I do this with cold water. You fill up the pot. These are they're very dirty, but it is a sterile dirt they throw them in. Sometimes it's a mix of soil and manure. You want to wash them really well. I'll show you once, but I'll probably be going through this like 5 times, and with both. Be very gentle because they do break. They're very delicate. And I'll show you the dirt that comes out. They tell you to soak them for, in the Amish cookbook I was reading, and I was looking around, and they tell you to soak them for about 12 minutes. What I'll do is give them a little squish, and my hands are very clean. I'm always in soapy water. Okay. Now what I do, it's going to take a few times. I take them, and I have this pan. It has the holes. It's like, because I have like a noodle cooker, or you can get a just a colander, and I put them in. Okay. I can still see dirt. I'll show you what we have at the end of this. And then it gets tedious. The hardest, not hardest, but the most annoying part of this is slicing and washing. And then after this, it gets a little better. Then you go on to cooking, and I'm going to do this to both pots. And I separate them because I want that dirt out as much as I can get. And what you're going to need is a pot of distilled water or spring water. I usually use distilled water because you're going to have to bring it to a boil. You're going to be covering it. These mushrooms are going to be hot. They're going to be cooked. So let me show you what we got. And that is how dirty it is. Let me see if you can get that. See that? It's worth the job. It's worth it. Rinse out your pot. Now, what you want to do is we're going to put it right back in. And we're going to rinse them until that water isn't so scummy looking. Rinse this one out. Alright. Sorry about the noise. Okay, I will come back. And I think I'm going to be doing these. I like to do them about 4 times. Make sure I get it out. And then I'll show you what to do next. Let me get my other pot. I'll start on that. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, I got a little more organized. So, we have all the mushrooms rinsed 2 times. It only took me 2 times. That's why I put them in separate pots, because it's easier and it gets cleaner quicker. Okay, now we're going to put this on 8, almost to high. Now, I also washed my jars. This is hot soapy water. I have my oven on at 215, and they're going to sit in here until I'm ready to jar it. There we go. Okay, I washed the lids, I washed the rims. So we will be back when this starts to bubble, and when it starts to boil, then I will tell you what to do next. Okay, now I've got to turn it down. I'm going to lose it. It's coming to a roaring boil. Don't want to mess. We're going to let it cook 5 minutes. I have to bring it down a little bit, or I'm going to have it on my stove, and I don't really want to. I don't want to clean it. Okay, foam's normal. I just scoop it so it doesn't go all over. It'll be fine. Okay, we're going to cook that for 5 minutes. On the back burner, I have boiling water. I already brought it to a boil. Fresh water. I usually use spring water or distilled water. Right here is my canner. It's lukewarm. I can put my fingers in it. My fingers are clean. Well, this has been through this all cleaning. So I'm going to give it a quick one. Going to let it boil. It's got another 4.5 minutes. And what I'm going to do is, it's too heavy for me to strain. To pour in the sink. So what I'm going to do is, now is when you get everything together. Here's my strainer. I'm going to go overboard. Oh. Okay. Usually if you put something in there, it usually calms down, but you need it to boil. You need to get your canning salt, your lids, everything should be ready. I'm going to put scalding hot, very hot water into my pop lids. They're not supposed to boil anymore. So, we're just going to put very hot water in it. I'm going to let this boil. It smells very good. Smelling. Lovely. Okay, got a little over 2 minutes. Okay, I won't bore you with this. And this is getting warm. Well, get it up there. I'm going to put it on a 5. Excuse my arm. Okay, we'll be back in about 2 minutes. We've got 23 seconds left. I'm skimming some of it off, the foam off, but they look beautiful already. And I'm going to try not, when I take out my mushrooms, I'm going to try not to dig to the bottom. Because I don't want if there's any more dirt down there, I don't want the sediment. Okay, now, turn that off. And I still have my water in the back that's very hot. Now, I kind of estimated, I'm going to turn my jars off. I kind of estimated that I have 9 pints in the oven. We're not to go to quarts. You only go half pints or full pints. Excuse me. And it's going to process for 45 minutes. So, let's got my spider strainer and a plate underneath. And I'm going to pour it into my strainer. If I had the strength in my back, I would pour it into the sink. But if you're ever pouring something like this, boiling hot water into your sink, you always need to run cold water on the side. Not on the food, but on the side. If you don't, you stand a chance of breaking your pipes or loosening something. Okay. And we don't want this water. It's murky. And you'll see how much. I've never processed this many mushrooms before. Once again, my hands are clean. The first thing I do is wash my hands when I come in here. Okay, I see a little lone one down here. And this water is not pleasant. You see if you can see it. It is, without me burning myself, it's very brown. Okay. We'll be back, and I will get my table ready, and I will show you how to can them. Okay. We have our jars. We have our lids in hot water. We have our mushrooms and the salt rings. We're going to put a half of a teaspoon of canning salt in each one. Each pint. Now if I have leftover, being these are dry, I can always put it back. Okay. Oh, forgot my vinegar. If you want more salt, by all means, help yourself, but I try not to. My vinegar, the salt can leave. Got to make room for my water. These are very hot, so beware of that. Paper towel. Nothing like a new clean paper towel. Okay, I just need one of my mitts. Boiling water is still hot. My canning water is getting warmed up. Alright, now here we go. Let me get my boiling water. My funnel. And let's see. See how much room I have. Okay. I should be able to sit it on that. Alrighty. Okay. Tastes a lot, but guess what? In the long run, it's worth it. Nothing tastes as good. Okay, now we fill up our jars with the mushrooms. Probably not going to need as many, but within an inch. I'm going to go for the wide mouth. You can see the mushrooms are still very hot. Okay, let me get over on that side. I might just make it. There we go. I don't want to waste any. Spatula, we're going to go in here. Okay. And put a couple in here. You just fill them up. Oops, that's going to be mine. No, I didn't deliberately plop that down, but I'm going to taste it. Like I said, my family, my house. Awesome. within an inch, I can move that one out because we don't need it. I'll just put the salt in a little container and use it for another time. Remember to use canning salt. I'm going to fill them all. Well, if I get the water in there, I'll be fine. And then I'm going to debubble. Just watch my cat. It's over in the corner. Okay, that one had a bit much. We'll see what happens when I debubble. You can always take it out. So it looks like we're getting 8 pints. I'm going to use the handle and debubble it. Probably have to take a little liquid out of that one, put it in this one. Okay. Alright. That's why you debubble. See all the liquid going down? Debubble, debubble, debubble. Has to be within an inch of the top. And get all those bubbles out. And the liquid goes down. That's why you have extra. Okay. Okay, what I'm going to do, looks like get a clean spoon out. This one needs a little less, and that needs more. Okay. And we'll top them off up to the bottom ring. Carefully. Let's see, which one is it? That is it. That one has it. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Like I say, I don't waste it. If I have to, I'll make some tea out of it. This will go back. This we don't need. And that goes here. Alright. Alright. Can you see? Okay. Now, dip into the vinegar. And while you're at it, make sure, last chance, to check for cracks. Always check. It doesn't hurt to check over before you do this. Or turn the paper towel over. Okay, hot, hot. Very hot. And that's what you want because it's going right into the canner. Okay, now I've got some big ones. Hold it on the side. Put them on top. Oh, two stuck. There we go. It's always better to have too many than too few of the Lisna jars, because if you don't have enough, you have to go and re-sterilize and everything else. So here we go. Now we'll put the lids on, the rings on. Make sure you get them on right. Don't you turn them left till you catch, and then you turn right, clockwise. Okay, just finger tight. I'm going to take this one by the top and put it in. You go left till you catch, and then clockwise. One more, I'm just going to make it. Oh, yes. catch it, and then you tighten it. Woohoo! Asbestos fingers, but not completely, not completely. All right, I will show you what we have in here. Oh, there they are. Let me sneak over here. Here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're not touching. We're going to make sure they don't touch. You don't want them clanking. Okay. Now, as soon as I get my lid, okay. All right, now we go through the same thing to look through the hole and make sure you can see the light through it. Now here's your exhaust. As soon as it comes to pressure, it'll pop up. This thing is a safety. If there's too much pressure, it will pop off and let the pressure out. Okay, to line our arrows up. Got the arrows together, and we're going to close it tight. And there we go. We're going to crank it up to high, and we're going to wait until steam is expelled through the little spout, steam spout. Okay? And then we'll be back, and I will tell you what to do next. We're going to set our timer for 10 minutes. We're going to let it go for 10 minutes, and then we'll be back, and we'll put our weight on. Okay, we got 24 seconds left. You can put it up, if I don't keep it way up, when I put my weight on there, it's not going to shake for 5 minutes. Okay, so let's recap on what we did. We sliced our mushrooms, we washed them 2 times. There we go. Put my weight on, 15 because I'm up in the mountains, and shake. Okay, we washed them. We put fresh water in the pan, covered the mushrooms, we boiled them for 5 minutes, and then we processed our jars, got them ready. And we poured fresh boiling water over them, and a half a teaspoon of salt in each jar. Now what we're doing is I vented my pressure cooker for 10 minutes. That brings it up to pressure. The little button on the side popped up. Now we're waiting for the weights to jiggle. And once they jiggle, we're going to regulate the temperature on the stove. And being that I don't have a gauge, I have to go by what I know. With my canner. So we're going to wait until it jiggles and does its little dance. And then I turn it down to 7. It may seem like a lot of work with the mushrooms, but just imagine you have them in your closet. You don't have to spend like $2-3 on a pint. We're going to process this, whether it's a half a pint or a pint, for 45 minutes. And the book I'm reading, the Amish cookbook, canning book, suggests that you do not go over a pint. And I'll have to do some research on that and find out why. It's probably too dense to process. It's getting there. And we got liftoff. And it's dancing away. Okay, now I am going to take it down to 7. I'm going to give it a minute. It took 5 minutes for it to start jiggling. I can't wait to sit and put my feet up. Remember, it's going to be 45 minutes. And that is for half pint and pint for the mushrooms. Got it at 7, and I will see you in 45 minutes. Okay, 45 minutes have passed. Have my lid off. Be very careful when you do take it off. And my lids are already popping. Just take the jars out. You try to get it down the lifter around the jars so that it doesn't squeeze the seal, and don't tip it. There is water on top. Let me see. Yeah, lay on for you. That's better. Okay, here, let's try another one. There you go. There you go. That's pretty. If you try to tip the water off, there's a possibility that you'll get water underneath your seal and it won't seal properly. Well, a lot of them are sealing already. Okay. Try to grab it by the glass. Sometimes you can't. This happens to work out well. There are times when you can't help it and you can only grab the top. You don't want to disturb that seal. Okay, let me make room. You can always take a paper towel and blot it dry. There we go. Okay, that was pretty easy. Takes a little time, but now I have 8 jars of mushrooms. Can use them anytime I need. Don't have to go to the store and get them. I hope you like this. Hit the thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And we'll be back with more recipes. And I'm sending prayers for good health, safety, and have a good day. Bye-bye.